Good afternoon, everyone. I can't hear you. I said good afternoon, everyone. That's what I'm talking about. My name is Nick Robinson, and I am honored to be your Master of Ceremonies for today's inaugural ceremony. I am proud to welcome you to the Wisconsin State Capitol, where we will swear in 5 constitutional officers to the state of Wisconsin, including Wisconsin's 46th governor, Tony Evers. Now, please rise as the national and state colors are presented, and then remain standing as our national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance. Our color guard is comprised of members of the Wisconsin Army and Air National Guard, accompanied by the 132nd Army Band of the Wisconsin National Guard. Approximately 10,000 men and women, soldiers, and airmen make up our Wisconsin National Guard. They proudly hail from Rhinelander to Kenosha, from Platteville to Superior, serving Wisconsin and America. Our national anthem will be performed by Dr. Jonathan Overby. Immediately following, the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by the students from GSAFE.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you to the students from GSAFE for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please be seated. I want to recognize and thank the pre-ceremony performers for their contribution to today's inaugural ceremony. I mean, didn't they do an amazing job? Let's give them another round of applause. These performers include the Toma High School Wind Ensemble, the Eau Claire High School Madrigal Singers, the William J. Reed Community Choir, and members of the Latino Art String Program. I also want to thank the Wisconsin National Guard's 132nd Army Band. Absolutely. A Wisconsin Guard band has participated in every Wisconsin inauguration ceremony. They are cherished by the state of Wisconsin, and we are thankful for their participation yet again in this historic event. So, today's inauguration is being broadcast live on Wisconsin Public Television and Wisconsin Public Radio. We're also joined by citizens across the state who are watching the ceremony via live stream on the internet. Thank you to everyone involved in the broadcast and webcast for making it accessible to every Wisconsin resident. Appreciate that for sure. I like the fact that you all are clappers. This is going to be awesome. Okay. The invocation will now be given this afternoon by Reverend Willie Briscoe from Wisdom, Wisconsin. Please welcome Reverend Briscoe.
May we all bow our heads. God our Father, we thank you for the grace and mercy toward us. We thank you for allowing us to be in this space today on this historic occasion, the swearing into office of Governor Tony Evers as Wisconsin's 46th governor, and Mandela Barnes as Lieutenant Governor. God, I ask that you invoke your richest blessings on him and his administration as he assumes the mantle of leadership of this state. Help him to be strong and of good courage as he advocates for a strong and diverse people. Bless him with a mind of wisdom, a heart of love, and the spirit of unity. And let us not get weary in well-doing. We too have a role to play in the success of this administration. Our children need quality education. Our neighbors need good jobs. Our friends and relatives need good health care. Our criminal justice system is in need of reform. And most of all, we must strive for inclusion of all God's people. Give us the strength to stand with our leaders, the courage to encourage them, and continue to pray for them because we know that this journey is not easy. And we must. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Amen to this. And everyone who agrees and touch and agree, say amen. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Briscoe. It is an honor for me to introduce and welcome 5 former governors of the state of Wisconsin who we are honored to have with us today. Governor Martin Schreiber, Governor Tommy Thompson. Governor Scott McCallum. Governor Jim Doyle. And Governor Scott Walker. Thank you for being here and for your service to the state of Wisconsin. I would like to now recognize 4 public servants who are leaving office today. Matt Adamczyk has served Wisconsin as state treasurer since January 2015. Brad Schimmel has served Wisconsin as attorney general since January of 2015. Rebecca Clayfish has served Wisconsin as lieutenant governor since January 2011. And Scott Walker, who has served Wisconsin as governor since January of 2011. Thank you for your service to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's 6th constitutional officer is the State Superintendent of Public Instruction. Please join me in recognizing our next State Superintendent, Carolyn Stanford Taylor. It is my pleasure to recognize and introduce the justices of the Wisconsin Supreme Court who are with us today. Chief Justice Patience D. Rogensack, Justice Shirley S. Abrahamson, Justice Ann Walsh Bradley, Justice Annette Ziegler, Justice Rebecca Bradley, Justice Daniel Kelly, and Justice Rebecca Dallett. Thank you for your service to our courts and to our state. Yes, now, the new leaders of the Wisconsin State Legislature are also here with us today. From the State Senate, we are pleased to have Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald and Minority Leader Jennifer Schilling. From the State Assembly, we are joined by Speaker Robin Voss, Majority Leader Jim Steinecke, and Minority Leader Gordon Hentz. Thank you for taking part in today's ceremony. For those here today whom I have not had the pleasure of meeting, my full name is Nicholas Hans Robinson. I only say that because there's a lot of Nick Robinsons out there in the world. Just Google it. But I am a Milwaukee entrepreneur and also the owner of a business that I co-created called Dream Builders. Our goal is to grow the understanding of architecture within underrepresented communities and to serve those who have been overlooked. I am also an alumni of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program of Metro Milwaukee. Thanks. I served as a big, but Big Brothers Big Sisters provided me a unique opportunity to share my time, thoughts, gifts, and talents with my little, at the time, named Antoine, and I definitely call him my younger brother at this point. When we were matched, Antoine was 8 and I was 18, and I could not fathom how beneficial the experience would be for the both of us. Antoine taught me that you don't have to be considered cool or know anything special to making a deep impact on a young person's life. All he needed was my time. In all honesty, sometimes it was challenging. Teaching Antoine to not grab the steering wheel while I was driving. It was challenging discussing emotions with a 10-year-old. And it was also challenging talking about nature, like birds, bees, storks, and stuff like that. But ultimately, these experiences helped me prepare for fatherhood. They increased my patience. They taught me how to reach someone that may not necessarily want to be reached at the moment, and they heightened my awareness of the lyrics and songs, and gave me the excuse to play like a kid again. For these, I want to thank Antoine's mother, Robin, for reaching out. I want to thank Antoine for being the best little a big could have. And I also want to thank Big Brothers Big Sisters, and Amy sitting back there, the president, for being the facilitator of hope and support. Every kid deserves that type of hope and support. That's why this guy right here, Tony Evers, he's going to be a great governor. Because, yeah, absolutely, let's clap it up. He understands that what is best for kids is best for Wisconsin. And I believe that he will work every day to make sure that our state is a place where every kid can thrive. Thank you. Now is the moment we've all been waiting for. It is now time to inaugurate the constitutional officers of Wisconsin who have been properly and legally chosen for their offices. Chief Justice Patience Rogensack will now administer the oaths of office.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Well, from the entire Supreme Court and from my colleagues who are here with me today, we are pleased to join in this celebration, and we bring the greetings of Wisconsin's judicial system to you all. We wish you the very best of fortunes as we now swear in 5 new constitutional officers. It is my pleasure to participate in this ceremony. And so we now begin with our state treasurer. State Treasurer, having been duly elected, are you prepared to take the oath of office?
I am.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Sarah Ann Godlewski.
I, Sarah Ann Godlewski.
Swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
Swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin.
And the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin.
And will faithfully and impartially discharge.
And will faithfully and impartially discharge.
The duties of the office of State Treasurer.
the duties of the office of State Treasurer
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hello, Wisconsin! I want to thank my family and all of you for being here today. As a fifth-generation Wisconsinite, it is humbling to stand here today as your state treasurer. It's hard to believe we nearly lost this constitutional office, but together, we made our voices heard. We deserve a state treasurer that serves as our fiscal watchdog. We demand good government, regardless of where you live, how much you earn, or even who you voted for. So today, we turn the page on the neglect of this office. Today, we begin a new chapter. And I am ready to roll up my sleeves and fulfill the many duties and responsibilities of this office. Throughout our state's history, we've shown the nation how good government can make a positive difference in our everyday lives. And today, I promise to continue that legacy. In Wisconsin, our motto is forward. Today, we must move this office forward. We need to achieve a new level of accountability and a new level of transparency. We also need to invest wisely in our state's future, because economic security and financial integrity will move Wisconsin forward. But to do so, it's essential that we take these steps together, not as Democrats or as Republicans, but as Wisconsinites. After all, our tax dollars are not red or blue. They are green and gold. I pledge to you that I will lead this office to benefit and protect all of us, regardless of party. As Governor Gaylord Nelson said to the citizens of Wisconsin, when you believe we are right, support us. When you believe we are wrong, oppose us. But let us all have a free and open discussion of our problems so that we can work towards an honest adjustment of our differences without sacrifice of principles. Our state has known extraordinary public servants like Governor Nelson. Many of us have learned the value of service from our own family, and I'm no different. My grandma, who was part of the first group of women to serve during World War II, was my role model for selfless service. Through her commitment to her country and her belief in her fellow service members, she showed me that together, change is possible. I look forward to upholding that same level of commitment to our community as your state treasurer. Because at the end of the day, good government is a value that we all share, and Wisconsinites deserve nothing less. Thank you.
Madam Chief Justice, I have the honor of presenting the Honorable Douglas of Follette, who has been elected to the office of Wisconsin Secretary of State and who now wishes to take the oath of office.
Secretary of State, having been duly elected, are you now prepared to take the oath?
I am.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Douglas Follette,
I, Douglas Follette,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge
and will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of Secretary of State
the office of the duties of the Secretary of State
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
Help me God.
Congratulations.
You bet. Thank you. First, I want to thank the millions plus people who voted for me. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve the people of Wisconsin for these many, many years. As the only statewide elected Democrat, it's been very lonely this past 8 years. Today, it feels great to welcome my colleagues to our great Capitol building. I wish everyone a very good new year and hope the legislature will allow us to accomplish some important things concerning the environment, and education, and health care. Working together, we can restore our state's great progressive tradition. Again, as Bob LaFollette, whose statue is right over there, would want us to do. Again, I thank you all and look forward to working for you for the next 4 years. This is Wisconsin. Our motto is forward. Thank you.
Madam Chief Justice, I have the honor of presenting the Honorable Josh Kaul, who has been elected to the office of Wisconsin Attorney General and who now wishes to take the oath of office.
You okay? Can he see okay? Attorney General, having been duly elected, are you prepared to take the oath of office?
I am.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joshua L. Kaul,
I, Joshua L. Kaul,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of Attorney General
the duties of the office of Attorney General
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy. Can I get a high five? Thank you. Thank you to my family. Thank you to everybody watching today's inauguration ceremony. And thank you to my fellow Wisconsinites. Today's inauguration takes place in atypical circumstances. Last month, the powers of 2 of our state constitutional offices were diminished after the election for those offices had been held. That action, unprecedented in Wisconsin and designed to hinder our ability to do the jobs that the voters elected us to do, will have an impact. But I want to make clear that irrespective of the action taken by the lame duck legislature, the priorities of the Wisconsin Department of Justice are changing. We will lead on public safety issues, and that will include advocating for policies that make our communities stronger. We'll revitalize the Environmental Protection Unit and bolster our consumer protection efforts. And we will stand up against the federal government when we need to do so to protect Wisconsinites. Now, in deciding how to confront the challenges we face, there will be significant, real differences of opinion. But as we debate the issues, let's be sure to remember that adherence to the principles of our democracy must take precedence over the policy agendas of the day. And let's also recognize that there are issues that demand our attention and that our different perspectives can help us address those issues more effectively. We have to expand on the work that's been done to address our opioid crisis and our rapidly growing meth problem. We need to work together to pass legislation that will help prevent there from being another backlog of untested rape kits in Wisconsin. We must ensure that for the first time in a long time, our criminal justice system has the resources it needs to operate effectively across the state of Wisconsin. And we need to make our schools safer. The Washington Post put out a recent analysis. It found that in the last full school year, the 2017 to 2018 school year, more than 4 million students went through lockdowns. 4 million students. And while I applaud the passage of funding for school safety last year, I am also calling for more action. I am calling for a red flag law that will allow law enforcement or family members to go to a judge and ensure that somebody who is a threat to themselves or others is temporarily disarmed. I am calling for universal background checks for firearm purchases. And I am calling for long-term funding for mental health programs in our schools. We can work together on these issues, no matter our party, no matter which part of the state we come from. So let's work together and let's make our communities, our state, and our future safer. Thank you all very much.
Madam Chief Justice, I have the honor of presenting the Honorable Mandela Barnes, who has been elected to the office of Lieutenant Governor of Wisconsin and who now wishes to take the oath of office.
Come on. On this side? You all get close. Okay.
Sorry.
Lieutenant Governor, having been duly elected, are you prepared to take the oath?
I am.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Mandela Barnes,
I, Mandela Barnes,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge
and will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of Lieutenant Governor
the duties of the office of Lieutenant Governor
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you to my friends, my family, former colleagues of the legislature, and all fellow Wisconsinites. Thank you for being here with me today. It is with the most solemn pride that I stand before you, truly humbled by an honor such as this, to be here on this occasion to embark on the work to give back to a state that has given me so much. To not just take an oath of office, but to make an oath of dedication to all who call this place home. There are so many whose commitment and sacrifice made this moment possible. People like Val Phillips, I called her. She was a friend of mine who stood here exactly 40 years ago as the first, and until now, the only African American elected to statewide office. The gravity of this moment is not lost on me as we strive for equity for all people in a place that has not always met its commitment. In a state that must deal with extreme racial imbalance, we seek to not only change what is possible, but to change what is expected. Time will judge us by what we do at this moment, because above and beyond making history, we must strive to make a difference. To my parents who are with me today, you never failed to provide, and you worked hard to create a foundation for me. I want to thank you for the lessons and for the opportunities you provided for me, even though I may not have seemed like I appreciated it at the time. I would also like to congratulate those who were sworn in earlier before me today, Secretary of State Follette, Treasurer Godlewski, and Attorney General Kaul. The state of Wisconsin will be well served with your leadership. And I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my friend and our soon-to-be governor, Tony Evers. Over the last several months, I have grown to a point where I'm so proud to call you a friend. It will be a new day in Wisconsin with you serving as our governor. I'm proud to serve at your side. Now, I intend to focus the office of Lieutenant Governor on the core principles of equity and sustainability, because we have a responsibility to make sure that opportunity exists in every community across our state. And that starts with access to great health care, great schools in our neighborhoods, and clean and safe drinking water in our homes. A person's zip code should never determine their destiny in the state of Wisconsin. The people of our state have called for change, to end the era of division, So from this day forward, we'll strive to lead this nation once again, to rid our communities of the rampant disparities and the desperation that hold us all back. With bold action, we will do more than just turn the page. We will register an entirely new chapter for the state of Wisconsin, one that is focused on justice and fairness for all. We will usher in an era of greatness not yet seen so that our entire state may thrive. All this and more through a truly representative democracy where we, the people, are emboldened by the cause of state to play our part in creating a more perfect union so that Wisconsin's star on this American flag shines even brighter, so that we may truly live up to our state's motto, forward. God bless the state of Wisconsin. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, honorable elected officials, constitutional officers, and fellow Wisconsinites. My name is Bella Wabandado, and I am proud to be Bad River Ojibwe. I am proud of my community. I am proud of my community, my culture, and my reservation. I'm honored to be standing here, sharing what I love about our state and my hopes for its future. Wisconsin is blessed with beautiful waters. Our people settled on the south shore of Lake Superior on the Bad River and Kakagan sloughs because these plentiful waters host our sacred food, monomen, or wild rice. I value our beautiful natural resources. Since 5th grade, I've been involved in 4-H and recently in a student organization called Worldly Aware Teens Encouraging Resource Sustainability. I'm grateful for my people. In Bad River, our people know our worth, but yet we cannot always convince others of it. To me, racial equity in Wisconsin would mean that other people see my people the way I do, as people. But there are some barriers we must overcome together. We have a tradition of sharing a feast with everyone in the community. And I believe all Wisconsinites deserve a seat at the table. Even in a small community like Ashland, where I go to school, the differences between races are very apparent. We have social boundaries locally and at the high school. However, I am hopeful. I am hopeful because I see opportunities to topple these walls and heal the relationships between communities and move together as a state. I'm excited to see more women and people of color being sworn into office today. I'm honored to have been included today so I can introduce someone I admire. Governor-elect Evers has worked hard to address the racial disparities and inequities in our schools. He is committed to protecting our waters. He will build on these successes and keep doing what's best for kids and move Wisconsin forward together. Madam Chief Justice, it is my great honor to present the Honorable Tony Evers, who has been elected to the office of Governor of Wisconsin and who now wishes to take the oath of office.
Governor, having been duly elected, are you now prepared to take the oath of office?
Yes, I am.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Tony Evers,
I, Tony Evers,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of
and
Wisconsin,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge
and will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of Governor
the duties of the office of Governor
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you so much, Nick. Let's give these young folks another round of applause. They've been exceptional today. Chief Justice Rogensack, Honorable Supreme Court Justices, former governors, constitutional officers, including newly appointed State Superintendent Carolyn Stanford Kaler, Cabinet Secretaries, tribal leaders, members of Congress, state legislators, General Dunbar and the National Guard, as well as active and retired members of our armed forces, distinguished guests, friends and family, and most importantly, the people of Wisconsin, welcome and thank you for being here today. Thank you. I especially want to thank Governor Walker and Lieutenant Governor Clayfish for their service and their families for their service to the state of Wisconsin. I also want to thank my wife Kathy and my family for their relentless support from Toma to Verona to standing here today and everywhere in between. I love you all and thank you. And finally, to the people of Wisconsin, I'm humbled to be here today. As a kid who grew up in Plymouth, met my wife in kindergarten, took her to junior prom, and went from scraping the mold off of cheese to teaching science to becoming state superintendent, and now standing before you today. I'm so grateful for the trust you have in me and the opportunity and privilege to serve you and this state. Thank you all for being here today. In case you may have forgotten, I'm Tony Evers, and I'm incredibly proud to be the 46th governor of the great state of Wisconsin. Thank you. Thank you. I've spent the past year traveling across our state talking about the issues that matter most to the people of Wisconsin. We talked about what's best for our kids is best for our state. And that means we need to fully fund our public schools at every level so that every kid in the state has access to a quality education, no matter what the zip code, from all-day pre-K to our university and technical college systems. We've talked about making sure that health care is affordable and accessible and protects people who have pre-existing conditions. We've talked about gravel roads and potholes and bridges and why we cannot wait any longer for a sustainable solution to our transportation crisis. That's not me. Oh, wait a second. Thank you. Can you hear me all right? I'll press on. But today, it's bigger than these issues that we all care about. There we go. We cannot fix these problems unless people come before politics. We've become paralyzed by polarity, and we become content with division. We become indifferent to resentment and governing by retribution. We've gotten away from who we are and the values that make Wisconsin great, not Republican or Democratic values, but our Wisconsin values. Values like how about this? Kindness and respect, empathy and compassion, and integrity and civility. Folks, this is bigger than me. This is about the people of Wisconsin. It's about setting aside political interests and personal ambitions to work together on solving problems. It's about putting people first. People like the 870,000 families in Wisconsin who are struggling to make ends meet because they can't afford basic necessities like child care, food, and transportation. People like the mom from Oconomowoc who spends $200 a day on medication because she's among the 2.4 million Wisconsinites who have a pre-existing condition. Like the dairy farmers from Washburn to Door County, losing their farms passed down for generations, who have been the backbone of our state for the better part of a century. Like our kids across the state going to school in classrooms with 30 other kids because we failed to fully fund our public schools. Like our seniors from Rhinelander to Racine who can't afford soaring drug prices or rising health care costs and who deserve to age and retire with dignity. Like our young people who work multiple jobs just to stay here and afford their student loan payments. They're also looking to us to make sure that we take gun violence and global warming seriously. Thank you. I took the oath today with the grace and humility of knowing that no single person can solve these problems alone. The challenges we face can only be fixed by finding solutions together. You know, 170 years ago, our forefathers charged us with being industrious and innovative. They gave us a mandate to go forward. We face that calling here today. We must turn the page on the tired politics of the past We must lead by example. It's time to remake and repair our state and reclaim our better history. The people of Wisconsin demanded a change this November, and that change is coming. But that change won't happen without all of us. So that hard work begins here today. It begins in our classroom and our playgrounds, where our kids learn to be accepting and treat each other with kindness and respect, regardless of whether their parents were born here, what their circumstances are, and no matter their identity. It begins in campuses and at our coffee shops, on sidewalks and houses of worship, where we will not fear diversity or our differences, but we will find value in discourse and dialogue and make us better people and better citizens. What a thought. It begins with valuing the dignity of all our workers, from paper mills to nursing homes, restaurants to cranberry farms, and village halls to highways, by recognizing that every person has meaning and each job a purpose, none more important than any other. And finally, it begins in these marble halls. As elected officials, we are reminded that our obligation and our allegiance are to the people of this state, not any political leader or party. That is the promise and spirit of our service. May we dare to transcend divisiveness and party line. May we have courage in our conscience, and may we be willing to do what's best for the next generation rather than the next election. We have significant challenges facing our state, and we will no doubt face setbacks in the days ahead. But as you all know, we are more than the sum of our differences, and what unites us is far, far greater than what divides us. I have never been more hopeful about our state and our kids' future as I stand here today. We must dare greatly to go forward in the face of adversity and uncertainty. We must dare to make space for hope here once again. And today we turn towards the future. We are moving forward together. So folks, let's polka tonight and get to work tomorrow. Thank you, and on Wisconsin. Thank you.
Congratulations, Governor Evers. At the conclusion of the ceremony, Governor Evers and Lieutenant Governor Barnes will host a receiving line in the Governor's Conference Room. Both offices are located in the East Wing of Level 1. On behalf of Governor Tony Evers and the constitutional officers and the government of the state of Wisconsin, thank you for being here for this historic event. This concludes the inauguration ceremony. Thank you for sharing in this celebration of our democracy on Wisconsin.